A pleasant good evening to you and a warm welcome to News Hour. I am Esther Sako. Coming up, President Julius Maada assures the Chamber of Commerce of government's support. Justice Mark Gaba issues orders on the Sierra Leone Bar Association membership and eligibility requirements ahead of the association's annual general meeting. And High Court rules in favor of a lecturer of Ernest Baikoma University over suspension of salary. These stories and more, including entertainment and sport, are lined up in this evening's edition of News Hour. Stay with us. Welcome back. We'll begin the news this night with one of our top stories. President Julius Maada has urged the Chamber of Commerce to continue partnering with governments to create jobs and expand opportunities for Sierra Leoneans. He affirmed government's commitment to work with the private sector as a key driver of the economy. President Bio made this call and commitment during a courtesy call on the president by the Chamber. We now join our State House correspondent Margaret Senge for more details.
Government is ready to strengthen its partnership with the private sector. President Julius Maada says businesses remain central to Sierra Leone's economic growth and job creation. The delegation, led by Trade and Industry Minister Alpha Ibrahim Cisse, officially announced the revival of the Sierra Leone's Chamber of Commerce. It also presented proposals aimed at improving trade, investment, taxation, and the ease of doing business. The Chamber says it is once again ready to represent Sierra Leone's private sector at home and abroad.
As the head of state, you set the vision, but you need us to execute on it. Government by itself does not create jobs, it creates the enabling environment for it. But it is up to us to do that. And job growth is something that we are very intentional about. And we're aware that, yes, as a country, we should be creating 75,000 jobs per year in order to keep up with the youth bulge, but we are creating roughly about 55% of that. And that is something that we are aware of and we are ready to tackle together.
Chamber President Modupe Taylor Pierce thanked President Bio for supporting the Chamber's revival after years of inactivity.
Today, the Chamber is back on its feet as the umbrella organization of the private sector. And I don't think it is by accident that during the years that the Chamber was not active, that in some ways the private sector also suffered in terms of growth and growth of jobs. And for that, I just want to say I apologize, because really I suspect we have given you some more headaches than you deserved. And that is one of the reasons why we were keen to come here to let you know that the words that you said at Davos, where you shared that the private sector is the key driver of economic growth and trade, that not only do we believe it, but we are ready to enact it.
He also appealed for the construction of a permanent trade fair center to promote made in Sierra Leone products.
We want to build out a trade fair center that would double. Part of it would be the chamber office, and part of it would also be a place where trade can have a central hub. We are hoping that we can, with the partnership of your government, be able to acquire land somewhere west of Campbell Street that we could then repurpose and build out for this purpose, so that we can become a central hub where people all over West Africa and Africa come and do some trading in Sierra Leone.
President Bio welcomed the Chamber's renewed leadership and reaffirmed government's commitment to working with the private sector.
Growth everywhere in the world is led by the private sector. We, as you rightly said, create the environment for the private sector to thrive. So there is a symbiotic relationship that should exist between us, government, and you, representing the private sector. From registration to you doing business, it's our responsibility to make sure that we accompany you by making sure that you can register your business very easily and that the cost of doing that is affordable. And from that day, we accompany you and make sure that you make enough money.
The president said the chamber must now become the country's leading voice for private sector engagements. He warned that years of inactivity had discouraged investments.
In terms of challenges, now that you are together, we will work on that. We have a major role to play to weave your interests together and make sure that we do not support anything that is going to lead us continue the fragmentation that exists today. That means we have to take you as the central body through which we deal with the private sector, the larger private sector.
President Bio also called for affordable financing for local businesses. He said Sierra Leonean entrepreneurs must have access to capital to compete with foreign companies.
We need to have more. We need to stop importing. We need to provide the support necessary. And this is where we have to now engage our financial sector, the banks. We have to create a bridge so that they can make capital available and at affordable rates.
The president further urged stronger local content policies. He said more government contracts should benefit Sierra Leonean businesses so wealth remains in the country.
We have noticed lately that industry, the light industry, is in fact the driver of growth in our economy. We need to have more. We need to stop importing. We need to provide the support necessary. And this is where we have to now engage our financial sector, the banks. We have to create a bridge so that they can make capital available and at affordable rates.
Both President Bio and the Chamber agreed to strengthen dialogue and collaboration to accelerate national development. Margaret Senge, SLBC News, State House.
The High Court has ruled in favor of Amadou Paka, a lecturer of anti-smuggling University of Science and Technology, who took the university administration to court for suspending his salary and allowances without a due process. Muhammad Koroma tells us more.
The plaintiff, Amadou Paka, who doubles as a lecturer of Anes-Baikoma University of Science and Technology, said his salary was suspended without being notified about the reason for the suspension. He said he only knew about it when he checked his account. He said he immediately brought it to the attention of the first defendant, who is the vice-chancellor of the university, but he did not receive any response. He added that the vice-chancellor later confirmed to him that he had received his letter and that he was the one who requested that the plaintiff's salary be suspended because he had not marked certain scripts. However, he said the VC assured that the issue would be resolved. He said he also wrote a letter of complaint to the chancellor when he realized that even his leave allowance had been withheld. The plaintiff told the court that he requested an investigation into the issue, but the Vice-Chancellor said he would resolve the issue if he withdrew the letter he had earlier sent to him. He said he did, but the issue was not resolved. The plaintiff submits that the act of the Vice-Chancellor was unlawful, relying on Section 15(1) of the University Act 2021, which states that it is the University Court that is mandated to suspend any senior member of the university after due investigation. The defendant's lawyer, E.N.B. Gakwi, held a contrary view, arguing that the salary of the plaintiff was to be paid by the government of Sierra Leone as per the employment contract and not by the second defendant. He did not deny that the plaintiff's salary was suspended, but he argued that it was not an act of the second defendant. He also argued that the suspension was made based on the request by the second defendant to the Tertiary Education Commission. Having heard both the submissions of the parties, Justice Leonard Taylor ruled in favor of on the basis that it was only the university court that can make such suspension after investigations. Justice Taylor then ordered that the defendant pay the plaintiff within 30 days all arrears of salary, leave allowance, and other emoluments withheld from him consequent upon the unlawful suspension. For SLBC, Mohamed Koma reporting.
Meanwhile, High Court Judge Justice Mark Gegba has issued the landmark orders for the Sierra Leone Bar Association's membership list and eligibility requirement ahead of the association's annual general meeting. The orders came after a member of the Bar Association took the current executive to court. Mohamed Koma again.
Among the key orders, the court directed current executive members led by Tuma Adama Jabi was to publish by the 29th July 2026 the list of fully paid up members who have paid their registration, subscription and conference fees, making them eligible to participate in the annual general meeting. The court further ruled that voter registration and eligibility must be verified solely through bank payment slips showing payments made by the deadline of the 29th May 2026. Justice Gegba also ordered that the election of the association's executive members be conducted strictly in accordance with the association's memorandum and articles of association. In addition, the court directed that access to the annual general meeting venue be granted only to members who present proof of payment through verified bank payment slips completed by 29th May 2026. Finally, the court ordered the defendants to provide the applicants and members of the association with the audited financial statements and bank statements covering the period from 1st May 2024 to 1st June 2026 by 30th July 2026. The ruling is expected to guide preparations for the annual general meeting and ensure compliance with the association's governing rules. The country's Lawyers Association has been in turmoil since 2024 following a disputed election in Kenema, and that had since led to the creation of a parallel body called the Lawyers Society by dissatisfied members of the current executive of the Sierra Leone Bar Association. For SLBC, Mohamed Koma reporting.
The Timini Descendants Association International successfully concluded its 3-day inaugural celebration in Dallas, Texas, with the installation of the first traditional Timini chief in the city. The colorful events brought together hundreds of Sierra Leoneans and friends from different nationalities to celebrate cultural unity and community development. Soye Kamara reports.
The 3-day celebration began with a meet and greet session welcoming members who had traveled from across the United States as well as delegates from Canada, Europe for the landmark occasion. The chairman of the Tarakum Descendants Association International, Ahmed Kanu, popularly known as Chief Kande Bali, administered the oath of office to the newly installed chief.
I, Almami Bangura Katenke.
I, Idris Farika Bangura Palmami Katenke.
Do solemnly swear that.
In his acceptance speech, the new chief, Idris Fadika Bangura or Pal Mami Katenke, pledged to uphold the association's constitution and work closely with the executive to achieve its goals.
It is high time we come together as a payment group to be able to help our own people. So this fundraising, whatever it give us, is a blessing because it is going to work developing much needed help back home in Sierra Leone. You know, being together is always a key to success. As a single person, you can't succeed in anything, but when you come together as a team, you should be able to succeed.
He noted that Safaricom joins other Sierra Leonean diaspora organizations, including the Creole Descendants Union, Tegloma, and Mobohandi, that continue to make meaningful contributions to national developments. Chairman Kanu also outlined the association's vision, stressing that Safaricom was committed to improving the lives of Sierra Leoneans through education and community development. He highlighted the construction of a primary school in Matebing village, Potloko districts, as one of the organization's flagship projects aimed at supporting children in underserved communities. A member of the association, Mohammed Kanu, encouraged the newly installed chief to lead with integrity, remain committed to the association's values, and work tirelessly for the benefit of the organization and the nation. The celebration featured vibrant displays of Timni culture, including traditional Bubu music and dance, performed in honor of the new chief. The festivities showcased Timni culture while reinforcing the importance of preserving Sierra Leone's cultural heritage for future generations. Zoe Kamara, SLBZ News, Freetown.
The government of Sierra Leone, through the Ministry of Finance, has engaged with UNICEF and partners on strengthening public investment in children, as a new budget brief highlights the urgent need to protect funding for essential social services amid growing fiscal pressures. Emmanuel Williams reports.
Investing in children has taken center stage as UNICEF presented key budget brief to the Ministry of Finance, advocating for stronger and more protected funding for critical sector that directly affects the lives of children across Sierra Leone. The engagement forms part of UNICEF's broader program aimed at promoting child-sensitive public finance, ensuring that national budgets prioritize health, education, nutrition, water and sanitation, and child protection. According to UNICEF, every monetary decision made by government has long-term implication for children's future, especially at a time when public debt continues to absorb a significant share of national resources. In 2026 alone, debt serving account for nearly 29% of government expenditure, raising concerns about reduced funding for essential social services. Delivering UNICEF message, the deputy representative in Sierra Leone, Maiko Kangoshima, emphasized the importance of protecting children through strategic budgeting. The budget must help the young girl in the village access clean water, and the choice made now will shape Sierra Leone's future and bring long-term benefit for children.
UNICEF is pleased to have this opportunity to engage with you today on the findings from UNICEF's 2026 budget release. These release place Sierra Leone's children at the center of the budget discussion.
UNICEF further warned that without deliberate safeguards, economic adjustment could lead to reduced funding and weaken service delivery in key sectors affecting children. UNICEF is therefore urging government to prioritize efficiency and improve revenue generation instead of cutting essential services that are sensitive to children welfare. UNICEF highlighted the key areas including the need to increase increase funding for child protection, which currently stands at an estimated 16 loans per child annually, and strengthening investment in primary health care and nutrition, noting that health spending remains below the regional target of 15%. Education financing was also identified as a critical, with calls to shift focus beyond access to improve learning outcomes, classroom facilities, teaching materials, and inclusive education for children with disabilities. UNICEF emphasized the need for more predictable funding to improve sanitation, hygiene, and access to safe water, particularly in the schools and rural communities. Social protection coverage for children remains extremely low, with less than 1% of children benefiting from any form of support, promoting calls for expansion of a child grant system. The Financial Secretary, Matthew Dingy, welcomed UNICEF intervention as a timely and insightful.
We introduce discuss details to guide on how we shape our budget policies going forward and addressing especially issues that affect children.
The engagement also featured presentations highlighting economic realities, including raising fuel price and the fact that nearly 50% of Sierra Leoneans live below $3 a day, underscoring the need for stronger social support system. Stakeholders concluded that a shared commitment to ensure that the 2027 national budget reflects increased, protected, and efficiently managed investment in children, recognizing that such investments are key to national development. For LCBC News, Emmanuel Williams reporting.
Students of Lincoln Queen University of Creative Technology Freetown campus showcased classroom learning, practical work, and innovative digital solutions aimed at addressing the national and global development challenges during their end-of-year semester exhibition. Francis Moiwo report.
Practical work, innovation, and technology continue to shape the future of education and national development in Sierra Leone. As part of efforts to nurture young innovators, students from Lincoln Queen University of Creative Technology presented their end-of-semester project during a public exhibition. The initiative is powered by the Ministry of Communication, Technology and Innovation, in collaboration with UNICEF and the United Nations University. The solutions developed by students were to address real-life challenges in areas such as education, health, governance, and public service delivery. Organizers at the exhibition said they intended not only to assess students' academic achievements, but also to inspire great investment in digital innovation that contributes to Sierra Leone's socio-economic development. They believe empowering young people with digital knowledge and practical skills is essential in building a technological-driven economy and improving access to quality public services. Students participating in the exhibition demonstrated applications and digital solutions capable of supporting sustainable development and accelerating the country's digital transformation agenda. The event brought together government officials, members of the academic community, technology experts, development partners, and the general public to witness the practical and innovative ideas produced by the students while encouraging creativity, problem solving, collaboration, and digital transformation among young people. The UNICEF Deputy Representative for Sierra Leone, Liv Ellen Edryden, spoke on the intention of UNICEF for young people to push technology-driven solutions in different sectors.
At UNICEF, we believe that young people are not simply users of technology. You are innovators, creators, and problem solvers. Across Sierra Leone, we continue to see young people developing ideas that can improve education, strengthen health systems, enhance access to services, and make public institutions more responsive to the people they serve, and also create new jobs.
Lincoln Queen student Fatima Tajalo mentioned some of the things she has learned so far.
Well, it's a learning process. It's an everyday learning process. And so far, so good. There were things that I thought I knew or I have perfected, like especially in voiceover, because I love doing voiceovers. I thought that I've been perfected in it. And well, every day I'm learning because there are new stuff, and I get to learn about script writing, advertisement, development communication, principles of broadcasting techniques as well. It's been a learning process all through.
The exhibition provides a platform for students to transform classroom learning into practical innovations while creating opportunities for networking, mentorship, and future collaboration with stakeholders in Sierra Leone's growing digital sector. For SLBC News, Francis Morrow reports.
Through the Mangrove Capital Africa program, Wetlands International has joined this company to become part of a regional vision for a mangrove conservation corridor in Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, and Sierra Leone. These three countries are home to some of West Africa's most significant mangrove forests and wildlife. By strengthening cross-border cooperation, the corridor aims at maintaining ecological continuity in a coastal environment. Harold Williams reports on the launching of the Mangrove Capital Africa Program's Phase 4.
WCAO, the African West Coast and Gulf of Guinea branch of Wetlands International, continues its commitment to wetland conservation and restoration with the official launching of the Mangrove Capital Africa Phase 4 project in Sierra Leone. The project, funded by Stichting de Oude de Broek Ecology with a grant of €750, will be implemented until 2027 and marks a significant milestone in the protection of Sierra Leone's critical mangrove ecosystems. The event attracted various representatives from the Ministry of Environment and other MDAs, development partners, civil society organizations, academia, donor agencies, and community representatives to witness the launching done by the National Protected Area Authority Director Sheikh Ahmed Tunis.
This project is officially and realistically launched. Thank you very much.
Acting as natural barriers against coastal erosion, storms, and the effects of climate change, Wetlands International Country Director Alhaji Maligi Shaka affirms that Sierra Leone's mangroves are among the richest and most productive ecosystems in West Africa.
We did studies. We did studies where people study about the socio-economic importance of that landscape, how the people are dependent on it. We do governance studies also, and we did mangrove restorations. Like I said, we bring 36 hectares under active conservation, but we did not only stop there. We also looked at other potential areas for mangrove restorations.
Sierra Leone's mangroves are home to exceptional biodiversity, serve as nurseries for shellfish, and store significant amounts of carbon and provide a livelihood for thousands of families who depend on coastal activities. However, this ecosystem is currently under severe pressure from urban expansion and deforestation. The Mangroves Know No Borders ecological corridor approach is now in Sierra Leone for this country's benefit and Senegal and Guinea-Bissau.
And now, on a solemn note, the Freetown City Council has held the Civic laying-out ceremony and the signing of the Book of Condolence at the new City Auditorium in honor of a prominent religious leader, Reverend Prophetess Margaret Nabe Brandon. The solemn occasion brought together government officials, religious leaders, family members, and mourners who paid tribute to a remarkable life of faith, humanitarian service, and national development. Alwyn Roy Fox reports.
The civic laying-out ceremony and signing of the Book of Condolence was marked by earnest and solemn reflection in honor of Reverend Prophetess Margaret Nambe Brandon. Mourners paid their final respect to a woman whose life was described as one that was dedicated to Christian ministry, humanitarian service, and the empowerment of vulnerable communities. First Lady Fatima Mother Bio described the late Reverend Prophetess Margaret Nambe Brandon as a woman whose love, compassion, and unwavering faith in God touched countless lives. She reflected on the close relationship they shared, noting that the deceased embraced her as her own and instilled in her the values of love, service, and complete trust in God.
She taught me that true greatness is found in serving others, loving unconditionally, and trusting God even when the road is difficult. Her life was a testimony of grace, compassion, humility, and unwavering devotion to Christ. I am who I am today because of her prayers, her encouragement, and her steadfast belief in me, and she shaped my journey since I became First Lady.
In a solemn tribute on behalf of the bereaved family, her son Jacob Stanley Davis described his mother as a devoted woman, teacher, mentor, and prayer warrior whose life was defined by integrity, humility, and unwavering faith.
As your eldest son, I had the privilege of seeing both the public and private sides of your life. The congregation saw the powerful preacher and the prophetess. We saw a loving mother who carried the burdens of her children in prayer. I watched you wake before dawn to see God's face. I saw the tears you shed for people who never knew how much you prayed for them. I witnessed your unwavering faith even during your own seasons of pain. Mommy, Pastor.
He further stated that his mother has fought the good fight, finished the race, and kept the faith, while assuring mourners that her legacy will live on through the many lives she impacted. Also paying tribute on behalf of the church, Pastor Michael Yambasu of Living Water Ministries described her as a selfless servant of God, whose ministry extended beyond the pulpit through acts of charity, financial support, and unwavering care for the vulnerable. Reverend Prophetess Margaret Nambe Brandon is remembered as a dedicated servant of God, humanitarian, and an advocate for peace, unity, and the welfare of women and children. Through her ministry, educational initiatives, and charitable works, she touched countless lives, leaving behind a legacy that will continue to inspire generations to come. For SLBC News, Alwyn Roy Fox reporting.
We pray our soul rest in perfect peace. But from that, the government of Sierra Leone has honored President Julius Maada Bio for completing his tenure as chair of ECOWAS Authority of Edzo State and Government. Ministers and deputy ministers presented him a certificate of appreciation for his regional leadership and for successfully hosting the ECOWAS Media Summit. The ceremony took place at State House before the cabinet meeting. Government officials also gave the president a walk of honor to the cabinet room. Our State House correspondent Margaret Senge reports.
Chief Minister David Senge presented the certificate to His Excellency the President Dr. Julius Maada Bio. Ministers and deputy ministers gathered at State House to honor President Bio. They praised the successful leadership of ECOWAS and commended him for hosting the ECOWAS Media Summit in Sierra Leone. Chief Minister David Senge led the presentation of certificates of appreciation on behalf of the government.
Sierra Leone is at an inflection point, and it's because of your leadership, your vision. Since 1980, when we hosted 14 leaders, we were able to host 11 heads of states, 15 PVIPs, over 2,000 people flew in here, 500 delegates, and it's all because of your vision. And we have many tokens of appreciation for you, and here your entire government signed on and offered this when you did this for Sierra Leone. We also have a plaque. You gave a plaque to all of your colleague heads of states, and this.
President Bio thanked the government and the people of Sierra Leone for their support. He said national unity remains the country's greatest strength. He told ministers that Sierra Leone can achieve more when its people work together.
I want to profoundly thank all of you, everybody, us in government and even those who are not in government, who have stood by this project and have made it a success. This is a moment of national pride. This I will dedicate to you and the nation. I have always said it, and I will keep saying it at the risk of sounding a broken record, that projects like this are never completely successful with just one man or one institution. I have always said that we are a good people and we can do great things to the surprise of the whole world and maybe Africa. This is an example, and this is why I say don't walk in silos.
The president said ideas became reality when people unite behind a common purpose. He urged Sierra Leoneans to believe in the country's potential and continue to work together for national progress.
When we work together, we can achieve great things. This is a beautiful country. We are a great people. We just need to unlock that synergy that flows this way and comes right back to the leader. And we can accomplish great things in this country to the surprise of the whole world. We made it small, but we are big in how we think and do things. Everybody who came in there, President Mahama was here a few months back, he said, I cannot believe that the bush I saw is now a magnificent edifice that can host. He said, I don't have this in Ghana. And I tell you for sure that there is no such structure in the whole of West Africa.
Yes. He said Sierra Leone has shown that it can succeed through teamwork and determination.
For a nation that is not accustomed to receiving even 2 or 3 heads of state together, for us to do so, with so many flights coming in, 14 private jets came in, over 2,000 and we cater for everybody to be a surprise, means we can do great things. So for me, it is not what we have accomplished. I have always said it is what I have inspired this nation to know that we can.
Government officials said the recognition celebrates both President Bio's leadership and the collective efforts of his administration. They pledge continued support for the president's vision and national development agenda. Reporting from State House, Margaret Senge, SLBC News.
The head of Interpol in Sierra Leone police has announced the arrest of 8 Guineans suspected of smuggling 16 Guinean migrants to other countries. Superintendent Mohamed Sidibe was speaking during the opening session of a 3-day training on human trafficking and migrant smuggling at Kintom for officers from FSU, CID, Toku, Interpol, and West African Policing Information Systems. Suleiman Ababatue has made this report.
Today, as usual, you know, every other day with a report about human trafficking, people then they call people, they lie for them, say can't travel opportunity.
This has been the case in recent years, as hundreds of victims of human trafficking and migrant smuggling suffer in other countries after they would have been hoodwinked in the guise of searching for opportunities. Being an illegal act and a continental menace, this has prompted international joint security fight to arrest perpetrators and secure victims. The head of Interpol in the Sierra Leone Police is Superintendent Mohamed Sidibe.
For the last 24 hours, we have rescued 16 people, Waterloo and McKinney, and we have 8 suspects who are Guineans, moving from Guinea to Sierra Leone, bringing in their native people and also trying to influence Sierra Leoneans
This announcement came during a session aimed at empowering about 20 police officers on how to arrest human traffickers and migrant smugglers. The training covers the differences between human trafficking and migrant smuggling, arrests of suspects, and prosecution procedures, among others. These participants, drawn from FSU, CID, TOKU, Interpol, and the West African Policing Information System, are very crucial in the fight against transnational organized crime. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Andrew Mustafa Kamara, thanked Interpol for such training, stating the police will not be able to deliver on their mandate without knowledge of the issue to be addressed. He encouraged participants to take the training important and put the knowledge gained into action.
Have the knowledge, you speak with confidence. You'll be able to do what you are expected to do. But if there is knowledge gap, there is bound to be always problem. So you have to make the best use of this opportunity that has been accorded you.
The Deputy Police Chief called on Interpol to continue supporting the Sierra Leone police with more training opportunities as they go home equipped with new skills and knowledge. It is now expected of them to be vigilant and fight one of the menaces affecting the world, especially poor nations. SABC News, Slaman Babatue reporting.
Residents of Hill Station are set to benefit from a new hospital project expected to be financed by the World Bank through the effort of the Honourable Member of Parliament for Western Area Urban Benjamin Toure. The proposed hospital is expected to improve access to quality healthcare services for thousands of residents across the Hill Station community and its neighbouring communities. Jonathan Turner reports.
In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the
This makeshift structure was constructed by the Member of Parliament for Western Area Urban, Honorable Benjamin Toure, 4 years ago. To help modernize the health center, the Honorable Member was able to lobby to World Bank for the construction of a story building, which will help to strengthen the country's healthcare infrastructure and expand access to essential health services at Hill Station and neighboring communities. Representative of Honorable Benjamin Toure, Hindolo Momo, described the initiative as a major milestone for the constituency, noting that access to health care has long been one of the community's key development priorities. He said the construction of the hospital would help reduce the burden of existing health facilities while bringing quality medical care closer to residents.
The pioneer behind all this is the only one man that you have in the constituency, who is Honorable Benjamin Toure. He is the man that brings development for the community at large and for all of us in this community. He has started as a long journey. At first, he constructed a market for us. He went to the level of bringing a Waska facility, and he has constructed a bridge, even though not finished yet. And now he is now planning to have a very big hospital for us. That's the kudos to Honorable Benjamin Toure. And we are blessed, we are praying to God that for Benjamin Toure to have more other opportunity for the community.
Health workers and community members have welcomed the announcements, expressing appreciation for the Member of Parliament's commitment to improving health care delivery and addressing the long-standing need for a modern health facility in the area.
During the rains, during the other seasons, it was not easy for us. It's a very big opportunity for us with the health workers.
The hospital project is expected to complement previous development initiatives championed by Honorable Benjamin Toure in Hill Station, including the construction of a community market and road, street lights aimed at improving livelihoods and local economic activities. Once completed, the new hospital is expected to enhance healthcare delivery, improve maternal and child health services, and contribute to better health outcomes for the people of Hill Station and surrounding communities. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
It's now time for Sport Update.
Hello and welcome to the sporting updates that brings you the very best in local and international sports. And by the way, my name is Abdul Kabi and thank you so much for your time. Today we begin with cricket. Now, Sierra Leone's men's under-19 cricket team is set for the ICC men's under-19 cricket Africa Division 2 qualifier in Rwanda. Well, for the youngsters from Sierra Leone, they are super excited about this competition. Well, going to the land on 1,000 hills will be a great deal for the stars from Sierra Leone. This report was compiled by our intern reporter, Alimami Conte.
Sierra Leone will face 5 other nations in the ICC Men's Under-19 Cricket World Cup Division 2 qualifier scheduled to take place in Rwanda from August 9 to 15, 2026. The week-long competition will bring together Sierra Leone, Uganda, Mozambique, Nigeria, Ghana, and host Rwanda, with the top 3 teams progressing to the next stage of the African qualification pathway. Sierra Leone is expected to begin its campaign against fellow West African side on August 8 before facing host Rwanda the following day. However, August 8, 2026 falls on a Saturday, so the official fixture schedule should be confirmed before publication. The tournament represents another important opportunity for Sierra Leone's emerging cricket talents to make their mark on the continental stage. The country has a proud history in under-19 cricket. In 2009, Sierra Leone made history by progressing through the African qualification pathway and securing a place in the ICC Under-19 World Cup qualifier in Canada. That was unfortunately forfeited following visa delays. Sierra Leone's 2009 qualification journey remains one of the significant moments in the country's junior cricket history, making the upcoming Rwanda tournament an opportunity for a new generation to create its own chapter. For Sierra Leone, the tournament will not only be about results, but also about showcasing the development of the country's young cricket players on international stage. The Sierra Leone Cricket Under-19 team will now look to build on the country's historic junior cricket legacy and fight for a place in the next stage of the qualification process.
Now to the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow for Team Sierra Leone, words of encouragement from the chef de mission after they had an exciting opening. Yaya Kuruma praised the entire team for the discipline and professional conduct. Well, he has urged the players to take the game very seriously. Well, this year's event will be very unique in terms of the medal as well. The medal is having some braille signs. That is, they want to promote inclusion because you have the disabled aspects of the competition. That is for para-athletes and for able-bodied athletes. So Sierra Leone will have an opportunity probably to secure the maiden medal in this exciting competition since they started competing in that competition in 1958. Well, they're hoping for something good at the end of the day. For the swimmers, Ali Harris competed in an exciting swimming competition. The performance was quite encouraging. And for the high jumper, Jordan Akisoya and the rest of the team, they are super upbeat about their chances. And all the best to Team Sierra Leone. And that ends your update. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
From Abdul Kabir, from the latest update in sport, that's how we draw the contents of news are. But before we go, a quick recap of a main point. President Julius Maada Bio has urged the Chamber of Commerce to continue partnering with government to create jobs and expand opportunities for Sierra Leoneans. He reaffirmed government's commitments to the institution. The High Court Judge Justice Mangrove has issued orders on Sierra Leone Bar Association membership list and eligibility requirements ahead of the association's annual general meeting. And the High Court has ruled in favor of Amadou Baka, lecturer of Anesbai Kuruma University of Science and Technology, who took the university administration to court for suspending his salary and allowances without due process. That's how we wrap up this edition of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. I have been your anchor, Esther Sako. Have a wonderful weekend. Good night.